Albertsons Radio Row post game. Lobos 72, Montana 63. New Mexico knocks off the visiting Grizzlies from the Big Sky Conference here at Dreamstyle Arena to the Pit. Take the fastest internet to the house with Xfinity XFi. Stream the Lobos all season long on every in-home device, no matter where you watch. It's beyond Wi-Fi. It's XFi. Xfinity, proud partner of the UNM Lobos. We are courtside on Albertsons Radio Row and Dreamstyle Arena to the Pit. Lobos 72, Montana 63 is the final. Let's look at some of the completed totals. The Lobos for the game shot 43% from the floor, 22 out of 51. 6 of 13 from deep as they did most of their damage from two-point range. 46% though when launching from the arc. The Lobos were 22 out of 35 from the foul line, 63%. Early free throw troubles did not cost New Mexico tonight. Montana for the game, 43% floor, 26 out of 60, 7 of 22 from three, 32%, and just 7 free throw attempts, 4 of 7 at the line. Rebounding battle of the Lobos, 43-31 and 11-4 in the offensive column. New Mexico turned it over 9 times, Montana just 6. Points off turnovers, Montana won at 15-3. Everything else went UNM's way. 30-26 on points in the paint, 15-3 on second chance points. The Lobos out-rebounded Montana 11-4 on the offensive end. Fast break points 10-7 UNM. Bench points 19-16 Lobos. When it was all said and done, the Lobos led for nearly 30 minutes. Montana for just over 8. The Lobos' biggest lead was 10 very late with 1:09 left in the game. Montana led in the first half by 4. Montana's best scoring run was a total of 7 straight. That came in the first half. The Lobos scored 9 in a row, also in the first half. The Lobos in the contest blocked 5 shots. Montana had 5 blocks of their own. New Mexico recorded 3 steals, Montana 5. The Lobos assisted on 15 of their 22 field goal makes. Montana 12 assists on its 26 field goals. We'll take a peek at individual numbers shortly. My broadcast partner is Lobo legend Hunter Green. I'm Robert Portnoy. As New Mexico started to grab control of the game there in the second half, what did you think that they were doing well to kind of keep Montana at bay?
Well, they were converting in the paint. They were getting the ball in the paint, and their bigs were converting. And then, of course, they started making free throws. So.
The free throws, the struggles there in the first half, you talked about that at the intermission. Don't change the game plan at all.
No.
Just keep pounding it inside, and
right.
And you figure that the average is to come back your way because you're a good foul shooting team.
Right, exactly. And they are. I mean, it just for some reason, I mean, look at Lyle. I mean, he starts off the game, I think it was 0 for 4, 0 for 5. I mean, that's unusual for him. So as a team, they started to get it together and start to knock down those free throws, and that really made the difference in the second half.
Where Lyle had a subpar first half by his standards, just 6 points, and you mentioned the foul shooting troubles. He was 1 of 6 from the stripe in the first half. A solid second half, finished with 16. But the guy who was consistent from start to finish today and was the Lobos' best player was clearly Carlton Bragg, who finished with a 20-point double-double today, his second of the season. 20 points, 14 rebounds, 5 of those boards on the offensive end. He was great.
Yeah, he was, and that's an area, you know, New Mexico's really focusing on improving. I mean, in terms of rebounding, offensive boards, and I thought they did that today. And then they took care of the basketball for the most part. This is a well-coached Montana team that came in here. They probably weren't matched, you know, physically. They didn't have the size that New Mexico had, but tell you what, they came in and they battled and they played a tough game, and they only had 6 turnovers as a team in the pit.
Give you a little taste of the lineage of the coaches for Montana. Names that you'll know. Jed Heathcote went on to Michigan State. Larry Kostowiak, coached in the Big 12. Terrific coach. Mike Montgomery had a legendary career at Stanford. Stu Morrill, we know from both the WAC and the Mountain West, a terrific coach at Utah State. And then Wayne Tinkle of Oregon State fame. So they've done it really well there for a long time, and Travis DeCure has continued that tradition there. It's a quality program.
Yeah, no, I mean, you could see, you know, the attention to detail and how well coached they were. I mean, Coach DeCure was on top of him, and he was very active on the sidelines there. But this Montana team is going to be, I think they'll contend for that Big Sky, no question.
Yep, they've come off back-to-back regular season and tournament titles in that league. The Lobos, too much for Montana to handle today. New Mexico improves to 7-2 and 5-0 at home. The Lobos have now won back-to-back games on the road in Brooklyn against Wisconsin and at home here against Montana. Montana, its 2-game win streak is snapped as they have dropped a fourth on the road in as many tries. They are 3-5 overall are the Grizz. Time for a break post-game. Lobos a winner over Montana. Final score, UNM 72, Montana 63. Stay with us. Coach's comments from Paul Weir to come. Lobo basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network. The Lobos defeat the visiting Montana Grizzlies 72-63 in Dreamstyle Arena, the Pit. We welcome you back courtside on Albertson's Radio Row post-game as we're joined by Lobo assistant coach Brandon Mason and star guard Jaquan Lyle. Jaquan and B. Mace, congratulations, a nice dub. And Jaquan, I wanted to ask this because the Lobos want to get up and down. They want to play a bit quicker tempo, and this is such a grinder type of game. You play 2 in a row, and it can be frustrating at times. How do you work through the frustration and keep sort of the right frame of mind over 40 minutes in a game like that?
Well, I think I have to give a lot of credit to JJ. He never seems rattled, and I think every time we look at him and knowing that that's our point guard and that's who's leading our team, that that we're in a good shape, and I think we just have to keep getting better every day, day in and day out, and it's a long season.
When the big fella gets it going like he did tonight, Carlton Bragg with this double-double, 20 and 14, you guys start thinking about feeding the beast?
Oh yeah, we always try to get him involved as much as possible. But he's a great player. So teams, teams try to front him, keep the ball out of his hands. And today they played behind him, and I think that was a mistake on them. And he took advantage of it and made a lot of plays.
Congratulations, Jaquan. The first half, you seemed to struggle from the free throw line. What was it? The shoes? What was it?
I have no idea. I've been struggling over the past couple of weeks with the free throws and shooting from the field and stuff like that. But just gotta stay in the gym, keep getting better, and I think I was letting one shot affect my next one. And second half, I just made a couple, and I was good.
We knew you were going to improve in the second half, so you only missed one in the second half.
5 out of 6.
I couldn't go down much. I couldn't go down much.
Brandon Mason is with us as well. A couple of things we knew about Montana coming in is that they had this guy Pridgett who was pretty darn good, and he was going to be tough to keep out of the paint. Did a pretty good job in the first half, but he got going there a little bit in the second half. What did you guys try to do against him defensively?
Well, we tried to switch some things up. We went from man-to-man to 2-3 zone. But you got to give their coaching staff credit. They did a good job of getting him balls in different spots, and he was able to work. He also did a good job facilitating. He had about 5 assists as well. So he was on the way to a triple-double. We tried to do what we can. We ran different guys at him. We challenged shots. We did what we could, but he's a good player, and he came out successful, but we got the win at the end. So.
Coach Mason, I'm curious because you guys started the game in a man-to-man, and I thought maybe you guys would start in the zone since this team's really not a great three-point shooting team. Then you flip-flopped it at the end of the game. You went to a zone. In my mind, I'm thinking that's going to give them opportunities to knock down threes, especially a guy like Vasquez or even Pritchard. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing we did, they got a chance to get rolling, but we made a substitution to go big when we went with Manigault and Bragg. And at that time, we knew that they had 4 guards out there. So we said, you know what, let's go 2-3 here and see if we can just get better challenges on shots and rebound out of the zone a little better. We got 2 consecutive stops at that time, and then we went back with Vance Jackson. And then you say, you know what, it helped run some time off the clock in longer possessions. And I think we did a good job of, finishing plays and rebounding out of the zone, and we got some stops at the end.
Also, I thought one of the things that you could see down the stretch in this one is something that Hunter and I have talked about is you have multiple players that can create when you're getting up against the shot clock, and I thought Zane Martin was terrific in that scenario a couple times creating contact.
Yeah, definitely, and he did some good things last game against Wisconsin as well, so that's why at that last 4-minute game we knew that we had to get him back in the game to finish strong. He makes free throws at the end of the game, he gets to the paint and puts pressure on the referees and the defense, and he does a good job at the end, and that's one thing last year that we missed, having guards like Zane Martin, Jaquan Lyle, and J.J. Caldwell that can make those kind of plays, and so it's real fortunate to have those guys this year.
Lobo assistant coach Brandon Mason with us. Also, guard Jaquan Lyle is alongside. Jaquan, almost 36 minutes tonight. You're the Lobo leader in minutes, and this is the first time you've played in over 2 calendar years, and you're getting heavy court time. How you feeling, man?
I feel good, man. Like I said, like I've been telling everybody since before the season started, with the help of strength and conditioning coach from Tyler, coaches get me in shape on the court, trainer Corey, you know what I'm saying, get me right from the injury. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. Just getting up and down every day, practice, working out, everything, and just trying to stay most consistent as possible. I think whenever you take a break, I think that's when your body settles, and then when you try to go hard again, I think it's, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't adjust well. So I think just staying at it every single day, no matter what it is, just whether if it's rehab, weight room, whatever it is, I just got to continue to go hard every day.
Talk about what happened when you took that hit. Was it a collision between you and a defender, or what happened?
Well, I did a spin move and I got him up and I tried to step through, and like my right side of my head hit his hip when he was in the air, and it messed me up for about 30 minutes.
You okay now, though?
Yeah, my head's hurting a little bit, but I'll be good.
That's where the free throw struggle came in. It was the head.
That's exactly. I was seeing 2 rounds.
We got Brandon Mason and Jaquan Lyle with us. Guys, it's time to wrap up. Thanks so much for being with us. Congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Coach. Thank you.
All right, time for us to take a break. We've got Lobo head coach Paul Weir on the other side. 72-63, the Lobos defeat the visiting Montana Grizzlies. Lobo basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Lobos win it 72-63 over Montana. Check the back of every season ticket for a great deal at your local Arby's. Bring your coupon into any Arby's store. Take advantage of the incredible offer exclusive to Lobos season ticket holders. Arby's, we have the meats. We have Lobo head coach Paul Weir post-game courtside from Albertsons Radio Row. Lobos 72 and the visiting Montana Grizzlies 63. Coach Weir, I'll start with this because it was one of the things that you mentioned immediately in our pregame, that you were worried about the team having the proper energy and focus when the ball was tipped off after the layoff, with the Thanksgiving break, coming off that difficult 2-week road swing, and it looked like kind of everybody struggled to find the energy early.
Yeah, I think the good thing, and especially in the first half, was we were defending to be there. You know, they were shooting, I think, below 30% there with a few minutes to go in the half, and we went in up 6. I tried to tell the guys at halftime, look, guys, we're up 6. And we know, like, the free throws aren't going. We're airballing 3-point shots, and we just didn't have a lot of legs to what we were doing, but we were defending, and that's all you need to do, to win games is defend. I just thought in the second half, as we found a little bit more of a rhythm offensively, then the defense fell off a little bit, and that's where we have to be better at continuing to defend for the full 40 minutes. Late, we found a way. We went to zone. I think it helped us a little bit to kind of close it out, but we've got to find a way to play a full 40 minutes of defense, independent of whatever our legs happen to be on offense, whether free throws are going in or not, or whatever those things may be.
Coach, I was surprised you started in a man-to-man and not a zone.
Yeah.
Because this Montana team doesn't shoot very many threes, doesn't shoot a high percentage in their threes. And then, of course, in the later part of the game, you went to a zone.
Yeah.
And then because I was afraid maybe Vasquez or someone could get hot.
No question. I think, I told them coming off the Wisconsin game, it was probably the best 40 minutes of defense we played all year. We held the team to 50 points. Let's keep building on it. Let's keep growing it. This is an amazing challenge for us. They're going to spread the court, 4 guys, 5 guys wide. And I thought we did a pretty good job in the first half. We were moving, we were guarding. Even though the offense wasn't clicking, we were just kind of holding the fort. And then, like I said, I think in the second half, as our offense got going, we kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit. We didn't have that urgency to defend that we need to continue to have. We're playing the scoreboard a little bit too much as opposed to just the possession defensively.
I hear you exhort them all the time, next possession, and it is interesting how that the offensive success can kind of have an effect on the other end. You kind of get comfortable. Oh, we can just keep scoring, and we'll be fine.
For sure.
But a couple of shots don't go in, and all of a sudden you look up, and it's down to a 3-point game.
No, and that's how it goes. You miss a bunch of free throws in a row, and they make a couple, and next thing you know, it's a tight game, and they're feeling better about themselves, and you're feeling worse about yourself. But I told them at halftime, it's the quality of the shot. That's all it is. It's the and if we're taking good shots, if you told me we were going to have that kind of a free throw discrepancy at halftime, take care of the basketball, that kind of a rebounding discrepancy, guys, we would have taken it. It could be 6, it could be 26. You can't control that all the time. You can just control the quality of our shots and the quality of their shots. And I think when you come in at 6 at halftime when potentially that could be larger if those other things happen. You're down a little bit, and it's like, man, we gotta keep these guys up a little bit. Just playing the score too much.
I thought when Montana stopped guarding the free throw line, you guys started to come back in the game. No, you know what? They actually did a great job of defending the post play of New Mexico.
They did,
and it took away some opportunities there, and made the bigs rush the shots and that kind of thing. But as you guys settled in the second half, you got better looks and started taking.
And that's how those games go. Like when we play UTEP, we're going, we got to stop Bryson Williams.
Right.
And you're excited, and you got your game plan, and you're doing it all the right way. And as the game unfolds, eventually you get. And it happens with us a lot, especially our post play. Yeah. It's hard to get those post feeds early. They're excited about it. They know what they need to do. They know how to take it away. But as the game unfolds, eventually, hopefully, it opens up for us.
What is your general philosophy with regard to free throws and how much focus or emphasis you put on it? Lobo fans will think back to UTEP, and they'll 11 misses there, and you had a difficult time at the line tonight. You got the win. You're a good free throw shooting team. The numbers say it for the year.
For sure.
Do you look at those games as outliers and just you don't want to get in guys' heads and think about it at all and just continue with the same sort of emphasis you put on practice on free throwing that you normally do? Or is there something, if you maybe see a pattern, how do you attack that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's individual based. You know what I mean? I think there's only one guy, I think, who's below where his numbers are, and that's Corey Manigault. He's been a 80% free throw shooter, and he's just in the 60s right now. But I think everyone else, I think Vance is up, JJ's shooting him, Zane's been terrific, Carlton's been terrific. Quan had a rough night tonight, but that was the first time I think it's ever been like, so I think we just go individual by individual, trying to get them going. McQuatch has shot the ball very well from the free throw on them this year as well. So our percentage as a whole is terrific as a unit. We've just had those couple of games, and Auburn had it against us. They just kind of happen sometimes. You just got to kind of work through those as best you can.
Well, Coach, you guys improved in taking care of the basketball.
Yeah.
You only had 9 turnovers for the game, and then offensive boards.
Yeah, I think they went 5 guards, and they really put us in a bind as far as what were we going to do or how were we going to counter that. Were we going to go small as well? We stayed big. We went zone. We tried to get the ball inside, and fortunately that was just a little bit better than them kind of going small on us. But they do. They get out, they pressure, they deny. We've been working on it for 3 days. The way they guard their ball screens, the way they trap things, the way they deny passing lanes, and I thought we did a really good job of just taking care of the ball and getting the ball to the paint. We just, missed some around there, and then obviously missed the free throws that would have made us feel a lot better about it.
I asked Hunter pregame what he thought you guys might do, and I was wondering about it considering that they play with a relatively slow pace, Montana, and they it looked, based on the numbers, prone to the turnover. Might you guys try to speed them up?
Yeah.
There was a lot of 1-2-2, but it didn't look as intensive as sometimes our press can look. It looked like it was more of a shot clock thing,
sure.
Or, maybe slowing them down a little bit in terms of how much they would be able to run their offense once they got it across the timeline, but not much trapping at half. Was there a thought to try to speed them up, and what was the idea behind the press tonight?
They were just getting the ball out so fast and up the floor. I think they felt they had a speed advantage, so I think they were really trying to attack, then obviously work clock and get us into late clock possessions. But really for us, it was like we just got to get back and get in front of these guys. Obviously Vasquez was terrific tonight. Pritchard's terrific player. They're good. And they spread you and play really well and kind of get to 5 out. And I didn't want to get in any kind of, odd number situations on the back end of it. They were just too quick. It's probably the smallest, quickest team we've played. And we've played some, I thought Green Bay, I thought McNeese. We played some smaller, quicker teams, but the lineups they were putting out there, they were taking their post players off the floor, and it's probably the smallest team we played, even smaller than Eastern. And we just had to find a way to get back and keep those guys in front and make them make shots over the top of us.
That makes perfect sense. The idea is, to keep them in front of you because you're worried about their dribble penetration and their spread offense. And then you're extending your defense even further. It gives them more opportunity.
That was the idea behind it. You never. hindsight's 20/20, but that as it unfolded, their speed was better than it was on film. To be honest with you, I think, or maybe it was our just lack of pop. But I respected their speed too much.
So we talked about this briefly off air. Conference season begins early. The congestion, in Vegas, and everything's moved up, and you're playing league games in December, and this is really strange.
Yeah, It's new. I just talked to our guys about it here in the post game. It's new for me. I think it's probably new for all of them. I know some of them come from some other leagues, but it's really been only the last couple of years they've started to move conference games into November and December around the country. So we happen to be the next league that's doing it. There's nothing really we can do about it. So we got to just work hard, get ready for Wednesday night, and play a very good Boise team here. It's soon. I told them it's weird to feel like there's a lot on the line Wednesday night, but there's a lot of marbles on the line Wednesday night. So we got to be ready to rock as if it's the middle of February on Wednesday night. And however this experience goes over the next 2 games, we'll learn from it and hopefully take some stuff going forward. I don't know how often this will be going on in the future in different games, but it's a cool opportunity for us.
But less time to get your team prepared for that second season to start. Is your team ready for conference play?
That's a great question. I think, as you see us, we're still figuring ourselves out in a lot of different ways. Me to them to me, them with each other. The good thing is we find ways to win. These guys find ways to make plays when it matters. We're winning closer games. I know we lost the UTEP game, but I like the group. And I think as long as we just stay connected and open-minded about what we can do this year, we have a lot of talent. We have a chance to be a good team. So Wednesday we want to win. We're going to do everything we can, but it's not the final chapter. It's not like if we win Wednesday, we're going to win the league, and if for some reason it doesn't go our way, the season's over. It's still early, but it's a good test for us, and we've been tested so far, so hopefully we'll be ready.
I got a question. You're going into league. I mean, there's always been philosophies. You want to take care of home, or you want to win on the road? I mean,
for sure.
What are your thoughts?
We've talked since the beginning of the year about protecting the pit. We've talked about it all fall. We've got to protect our house better than we have lately, or really since I've been here. We've lost these non-conference games. We've lost some ones, and we've got to protect this house. We've got to make this a really hard place to play, whether it's Boise, whether it's Montana, whether it's whoever. We got to protect this arena and the history and the seriousness and the pride that we take in it. And so far we've done that. We've got to continue to do it, and it obviously continues on Wednesday.
5-0 at home.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Coach.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
Guys. Yep.
Lobo head coach Paul Weir, our guest. New Mexico a winner, 72-63 over the visiting Montana Grizzlies. It is time for our Toyota drive of the game. Toyota, let's go places. Gets to Lyle between the circles. The baseline cut for McQuatch Malawach. He catches at the free throw line. He goes to the rim and rocks with 2 hands. Beautiful find by Lyle. Slim. Let's go places. McQuatch Malawach with the finish. And, a relatively lower scoring game because of the pace. But the Lobos, I thought, in the final analysis, Hunter did a pretty good job sharing the ball. 2/3 of their buckets were assisted, 15 out of 22, and that was one of them right there for the slam dunk.
And it's always fun basketball to watch when guys are assisted on a bucket. It's just the ball movement, everyone's involved, and I just think it's fun when you see guys assist the teammate for a point, for a score.
And this team has multiple players that are willing passers, and that makes it, when it's right, a very good offensive team.
No question. I'm sitting here still thinking we've got conference play starting.
Can't believe it.
And all preseason I'm going, it's only November. Wait a minute, it's December 1st, and we've got conference play on Wednesday.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Boise State, Wednesday night, Dream Salary to the Pit, 7 p.m. tip-off against the Broncos, airtime 6:30 with the Lobo Basketball pregame show. Mike Vitale, our broadcast producer and engineer in studio tonight. On-site engineer Michael Carlisle, both outstanding as ever. My broadcast partner is Hunter Green. I'm Robert Portnoy. Big props to Carlton Bragg for a brilliant double-double, 20 points, 14 boards, 5 of those offensive to lead the Lobos in both categories in a 72-63 win. Double-digit scoring for Jaquan Lyle, 16 points as he pulls down 5 defensive rebounds and drops 3 assists, turned it over just twice. Double-digit scoring for Zane Martin, 11 points, 3 of 8 field, 5 of 7 at the charity stripe, 2 key trips to the foul line late to help the Lobo cause. He had 1 assist and 1 board. As well, 9 points from McQuatch Malawach, 4 of 6 field, made his only 3-ball attempt and pulled a couple of defensive rebounds, had 2 assists in addition. Corey Manigault with 5 points, Vance Jackson with 5 points, 5 boards, 1 of them offensive. Vance had an assist, and the Lobos rounded out their scoring. 3 points for Tavian Percy with 5 excellent minutes in the first half and a triple. And J.J. Caldwell, 3 points at a team-high 5 assists. Caldwell's only bucket, a 3-pointer. He was just 1 of 3 from the field, but at 6'1". Caldwell had 6 rebounds. The Lobos' number 2 rebounder here tonight. Saeed Pridgett, he led all scorers, led Montana with 25 points. He had 10 rebounds and a double-double, 16 points for Josh Vasquez. The freshman hit 4 triples among his 6 field goal makes. Lobos have been protecting the Pint Hutter Green, 5-0 in their house on the year.
I like that. That's important. You got to, take advantage of the fan support and this arena. And, I mean, it's just in the tradition. I like the coach said that, taking care of home first. And, of course, you want to win on the road, but, to be successful in conference play.
It's a double dip in Mountain West play this week, and it starts Wednesday night at home against Boise State before we get to the weekend, and the Lobos will be at Wyoming playing the Cowboys in Laramie before returning to non-conference play with the rematch against New Mexico State on December 14th. That'll do it for us for tonight. Again, airtime 6:30 Mountain Time from Dreamstyle Arena to the Pit on Wednesday for Boise State. Our tip-off is 7 o'clock. The Lobos start Mountain West play against the visiting Broncos. Your final score for the final time, the Lobos improved to 7-2 with the win over Montana. Lobos 72, the Grizzlies 63. So long, everybody. You may be listening to Lobo Basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.